I just, as I was doing my breath, I meant to, beforehand, I said, Kat, this is to myself, before you have your breath, before you do these videos, put out an intention with what I'm saying, where I'm going here, to reach the people that need to hear this. And then as I'm breathing, I'm going, I forgot! So I'm like, quick, put a prayer in there. Anyway, and it's kind of like, it's bright coming through the window. I've been out for the sunrise. It was beautiful. And also I did my sky scrying, so I had a few interesting symbols and answers to things come in. The thing is, with this life that we're in, it is a bit like, and it's definitely code cracking. When you get in code cracking mode, ooh, that's when we go to a whole other level. And just as I'm saying that, did you see the sun getting brighter? Thank you for that confirmation, son. So there's code cracking, and the more I go down this path, the more, like, I've definitely gone through a few levels. So I'm not sure what level I'm on. It's definitely not the level I was previously on. It's so interesting, and it's so important to come into this game. Okay, I need to actually take it back to the foundation, which is looking after your physical vehicle vessel within this game of life. That is really important, even though I've been saying, and a lot of quantum physicists are saying this ain't so real, even to the point, I think it was either 94% or 96%, that this is not as real as what we think it is, which is pretty huge percentages. Even though I'm not really a percentage kind of girl, I kind of go, when I see all these percentages in articles or whatever it is, it's like, really? How do you know? How do you know expansively in the whole world that that is the percentage of people for this and that's the percentage people for that? So even then, not completely subscribed to percentages, but from my perspective, and we're all coming from our own perspective, that's really important to be clear on. I'm just seeing through illusions. I'm seeing through delusions. I'm seeing things I didn't see before, and I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy. I think once upon a time I probably would have been deemed crazy, or a lot of us. There's actually millions of people now, for how they see the world, would have been deemed crazy and put in some psych ward. But really those people were just seeing through illusions, delusions. So, which makes me really sad to think of the suffering people had to go through as they elevated their consciousness in life. Or a lot of young children who are made to think they're crazy from an early age, but they don't know any better, so they allow that spark to be snuffed out of them at the beginning. We have to stop doing that as society. We are way more than what we've been led to believe in life. And it is time, it is timely, it is divine timing for us to come back to ourselves now. This is all part of the story, part of the game. And I know there's a lot of suffering in the world. I'm not being flippant in saying it's a game. It's just, this is what I'm seeing unfold as I really delve and search. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, what you seek seeks you. As you head down a trail and you commit you will find the answers that you're looking for, and I'm finding that now. I haven't listened to Neville Goddard or read any of his stuff for quite a few years now. I find it's interesting how influences of different sorts come in, enlighteners come in and then they go out, but then they come in again. And Neville Goddard's come in with a vengeance. I don't know if that's the right word. And that law of assumption and knowing that I am, this is so important. This is at the core. And I know I kind of skipped where I was going before. I remember now. I was talking about the foundation of looking after your vessel and how important. Okay, I'm skipping back to that. So I'll get back. I'll just remember Neville. I've got him written down here from my stuff this morning, actually. And I actually wrote down the law of assumption. The law of assumption. But just quickly, let me revisit the foundational level of looking after your vessel, your body, your avatar within this realm, this reality experience, is very important. It's important to be aware of your core frequency that is emitting. You can't turn it off, you can only direct it, and it's a matching of the conscious and subconscious, and also heart-mind coherence is very important as well. The thinking mind and the feeling heart, a match made in heaven. I said that about something else a while ago, but it was something different, another match made in heaven. I'll have to rewatch my own videos. So looking after the foundation vessel and your nervous system, wow, I almost stuttered over that, system, is so important. And also, this is something really important that I've been attending to recently, but over a period of time. It's taken me a while, and now I'm really getting it, and I'm seeing how it's affecting my elevation and my trajectory as I take care of my body and I take care of my nervous system in particular, and soothe my body into feeling safe and secure and loved. I've been having a lot of baths lately and laying there and talking to my body and sinking in and having conversations with my cells and letting them know that I've got them just like they've got me, and we're in a partnership and we're working together, and we're moving, we're growing, we're expanding, everything's going to be fine. And relaxing, because if your body is in fight or flight, sometimes I wonder, is it fight or flight or fight or fright? I think it's fight or flight, and fright's in the middle there somewhere. I think it's flight, it's either I'm going to fight or I'm in fright, which causes me to flight, something like that. But if I just get back to where am I? My mind is just going a million miles a minute. I need to just center it. So centering your body, allowing your nervous system to be calm, because when you're in that calmness, when you're not in survival mode, you're now tipping over into thrival mode, and that eternal frequency that you're emitting, the signal to the universe that is creating the reflection from the inside out, can really start playing the game and emitting signals of abundance, of ease and grace, of love, of happiness, joy, laughter. But that's hard to do if you are constantly in a battle with, how am I going to get the money? The money's not here. where's the love? This person's like this, and over there that's going on, and my job, and the people, and where's this and that. You can't, from that energy, set a signal that gets you what you actually want to unfold in life. So it's really important to address that foundation first, and making sure you're eating well, sleeping well, playing well, enjoying life, resting. And also there's something with food. Oh, there's a lot with food. Oh my goodness. I could go off on a tangent here. I could go off in a tangent about the spraying of the poisons on the food and to kill things, but not us. No, we are immune to poisons that kill all other creatures but ourselves. And then the preservatives and the additives and the colors and the chemicals and all the words on the packages that are getting smaller and smaller, and I can't even read them anymore. And I think that's by design, because they don't really want us to read it. And I don't want to get stuck in the them and us, because then I'm feeding that storyline. So I need to also catch myself and not get caught up in this. But it would be good for us all to perhaps look at what we're doing in that sense. But in saying that, as this world ain't as real as we think, it's not so much what's in the food, it's what we think of the food as we consume it that matters. So even if we were eating something with all that stuff, so this is me trying to work out this as we are in this certain part of life now, where if you go to the shopping centre, to the supermarket, probably, well, I was there the other day and I kind of was standing out the front. I was with my dad and I'm just looking. The actual fruit and vegetables is probably maybe 1/5 of the whole supermarket, and everything else is packaged and in plastic and prefabricated and processed. But there's 1/5. But even within that, we're now packaging in plastic, and plastic can leach into food. And having things cut up, like pre-cut up, and wrapped in plastic, when you could just have the actual fruit or vegetable as it is, in its own natural packaging. I'm kind of getting off track here. I should probably save this food one for a whole video conversation, but it might be good, I don't know, to talk with people. I'd love to know what other people think about that. So let me just so basically I'm saying the foundation is look after your vessel, your avatar, which is the body you're in. And it is mind over matter. Be careful what you say to your body, what you say to yourself, in where you are and how you're at and how your body reacts to things in life, because whatever you say is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So don't damn yourself by your own words. I think if you've looked at my other videos, I did have one called the Big Butt Story, or it might have been in the description, which kind of points out potentially what can happen in your words and what you say about your body. So just quickly to summarize that, I had a friend who had a mother who used to always say, all I have to do, and I really don't want to say this because I'm worried about my butt, all I have to do is look at a cream bun, it goes straight to my butt, or cakes, whatever it is, whatever food goes straight to my butt. She had the biggest butt, like abnormally, I had ever seen in my life. And it wasn't until years later that it clicked, because she spoke her butt into being. Don't do that. Unless you're doing it in a good way, like my butt is lovely, or my arms are great. I love the body I'm in. My body is my beautiful vessel that gets me everywhere, and keep it broad. Just say I love the body I'm in, and allow your body to respond, because innately your body knows where you want to be. Well, your spirit does, your soul does. So speak into being. But if I'm to get back to Neville Goddard too, Like, what an absolutely amazing person with a legacy of knowledge and wisdom and beingness that's been left to us. And it's so funny though, I used to listen and read him and then it dropped out. And I love how people come back in, and I feel like it's just like when I was reading Eckhart Tolle, how when I first read one of his books, I found it really hard. And it took me a while. And then I found I kept reading the same pages over and going, I didn't retain anything, so I'd have to read it again and again and again and go, what is going on? And then I did get through the book, because when I start things, I like to finish. But then a few years or something later, I picked it up again, and I just consumed it, like sucked it up with a straw from the pages, and everything landed, and it was different. So there's something about timing and being in the right frame of mind where things are easier to absorb, or you are just at a point where you can see things that you couldn't see before. But the law of assumption I found, like in this particular one I was listening to, I've gone, oh my goodness, I'm already doing this. I didn't even know I was doing it, but I'm doing it in this law of assumption. The law that it's already done. It's done. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be anyone. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. It's already done. And acting as if, which is biblical also, that's a Jesus thing, isn't it? Ask as if it's already there. Ask as if it's already done. And it's not even asking. In asking means you don't have it. And that's where that law of assumption clarifies. I already have it. I already am it. But this is really important. This is probably the most important part. There is, and I have mentioned this before, and I didn't realize the poignancy, poignancy, I think that's a word, of what I was already doing and knowing and being aware of, is that there is a lag. There is a time lag in between what you are emitting and then what reveals itself in your experience. But what can happen is we can put it out there and we can have bouts of feeling so sure, going, I've got it this time. And then we're like, okay, a day's gone past. Where is it? Why isn't it here? Oh, as soon as we say that, why isn't it here? Where is it? It just pushes it back. It's kind of like, and this is in the Neville Goddard I was listening to, it's like planting seeds in your field. You're a farmer, just for the moment, you're a farmer. You plant your seeds, and then straight away you're going, where's my crop? Where's my harvest? Where is it? So you get the shovel out and you dig them up, and you go, they're just seeds, there's nothing here. But by doing that, you've dug them up now, so they're not going to grow. And that is the same with our dreams and desires. You plant them, you just got to trust they are growing. You're going to get your harvest. Do not go dig them up to check. Do not get into that frame of mind where you're going, where is it? Why don't I have it? Why isn't it here? As soon as you do that, poof, it's gone. You're going to have to replant. Don't do that. I'm not doing that anymore. I've done that. I have, unfortunately, planted so many seeds and then gone, I don't see any growth, and I've dug them up. I'm not going to do that anymore. This is it. I'm leaving all my seeds. I trust that they're going to sprout and grow, and I'm going to have a lush field of harvest. It's there. It's done. It's done. It's done. But that is probably one of the most important things, along with that first thing about the foundation of taking care of your vessel, even though our vessel is not overly as real as it feels, because this is senses, sensory. It feels like I'm feeling, but it's more like we have senses that give us the illusion, because it's really important to feel, because that's part of our navigating system as well. Even on that physical sense of, if we didn't have senses for feeling, you'd ruin your avatar pretty bloody quick, because you'd put your hand on something hot, be talking away, have no idea, oblivious, because we're not feeling, we're not censored, and then you'd have a charred, burnt hand that you can no longer use. So the senses of feeling are so important to keep our body intact, make sure we're looking after this avatar, and also the sensory of our feeling of our emotions, because as we feel our way in life, when it feels good, we know that's something I like. It helps us discern and make choices, and we're meant to navigate via our choice from one good thing to the next good thing. Though I do understand a lot of growth comes from the pain and the turmoil. And I understand that it is rapid growth, but I don't know if we need that anymore. Do we need that? Or can we shift into a world where we don't? That may be part of the fact that, you know how we just want to get somewhere? It's like, I want it and I want it now, which we can have if we keep our seeds planted and trust that it's done. But that want to grow and expand, and we really want it so much that we are prepared to put ourselves through trials and pain and torment in order to have that rapid growth. But if we were to choose, because we are eternally growing and expanding is what I'm believing, to do it slower and with more ease and grace and flow and just enjoying the process, those lessons and the trigger points for the growth, I don't know if trigger points is the right word, but just for now I'll use that, might not have to be so hard. I don't think it needs to be so hard, and I think this is where we're evolving to now, is into a more relaxed growth, an easy growth. Okay. I hope that helped. I'm going to stop. From that, just remember the important points of looking after your body, your avatar, and look into Neville Goddard, the law of assumption. Just look up that and just listen. It's amazing. There's another early metaphysician, Florence Scovel Shinn. She's amazing too. I think they were around the same era, which I think it might have been late 1800s, perhaps, something like that. Late 1800s or early 1900s? I think it was late 1800s. But if you're on this journey, why not take this little nugget of direction and go check it out? Maybe this is the seed that's needed to be planted with you today. Okay, I'm going to pop out and I will be back to Moz. I'm sending much love to everyone. I hope wherever you are, you're having a beautiful morning, arvo, evening, and enjoying the process of you being here in this reality experience. What a ride. Oh, what a ride. Okay, bye for now. See you tomorrow.